Welcome back to the deep dive. So you're interested in the future of social media,
Hmm.
especially all this talk about X becoming the next big everything app.
It's certainly a bold ambition.
Is it really going to happen, though?
Yeah.
And what would that even look like?
That's exactly what we're diving into today.
Let me tell you.
It gets pretty interesting.
Right. Think about it.
It's not just about adding a few new features.
You'd be able to order dinner,
It's about creating a whole ecosystem
pay your bills,
where people can connect,
and maybe even invest in the stock market,
communicate,
all while scrolling through your feed
and even conduct financial transactions,
and catching up on the latest news.
all in one place.
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is. And it's worth noting that X has already started laying the groundwork for this vision.
So they're not just talking the talk.
They've been quietly obtaining the necessary licenses in the U.S. to handle financial transactions,
They're walking the walk.
which suggests they're serious about this.
Exactly. They're taking concrete steps to make this vision a reality.
Of course, the big question is how they're going to pull it off.
Okay, so let's dig into some of those challenges.
The details are still pretty sparse.
One that immediately comes to mind is cryptocurrency.
And there are a lot of challenges to overcome.
There are all these rumors swirling around about X adding support for Bitcoin, Dogecoin,
It's definitely a possibility,
and other digital currencies.
and one that could have significant ripple effects.
Given Elon Musk's history with crypto, it wouldn't be a huge surprise.
Remember what happened when PayPal,
Whoa, yeah. I can only imagine what that would do to the crypto market.
which Musk co-founded,
But for someone who isn't super familiar with all this,
started accepting Bitcoin?
so it's not just about Musk's personal interest in Dogecoin, it's about the potential for X to legitimize and popularize crypto on a much larger scale.
It legitimized it in the eyes of many people and businesses. It was a signal that cryptocurrency was moving into the mainstream,
Gosh.
which sparked a wave of investment and speculation.
And let's not forget that leaked comment from an X meeting where Musk apparently said,
Exactly.
if it involves money, it'll be on our platform. It's hard to know how seriously to take that, but it certainly suggests he sees finance as a key part of X's future.
It's hard to know how seriously to take that.
So we have X potentially diving headfirst into crypto, and then there's what's happening in China.
But it certainly suggests he sees finance as a key part of X's future.
Which seems completely unrelated at first glance.
That's a great question.
They're dealing with some economic challenges,
And it highlights how interconnected the world is these days.
with the government trying to stimulate growth.
Some analysts believe that China's economic situation could lead to investors moving their money out of the country,
And investors looking for safe havens for their money.
seeking refuge in assets like Bitcoin.
How does this tie into the X story?
In a way, yes. It's a bit of an oversimplification,
So it's like a chain reaction.
but it illustrates the point.
China's economy sneezes, and the crypto market catches a cold.
If Chinese investors start pouring money into crypto,
And if X happens to be offering crypto services right when this is happening,
it could create a surge in demand,
yeah,
potentially driving up prices and attracting even more investors.
it could be perfectly positioned to capitalize on this shift.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got X, crypto, and China all swirling around in this fascinating mix.
It's all about timing and opportunity.
But there's another player we need to bring into the picture, the FDIC.
Of course, there are a lot of ifs involved here,
They've been making some moves regarding banks and crypto,
but it's a scenario that's worth considering.
which seems like a completely different topic.
You're right.
But maybe it's not.
It's all connected.
Nuance. I'm intrigued.
Recently, there have been claims of a concerted effort to debank crypto companies. Tell me more. Making it difficult for them to access traditional banking services.
Okay.
But the FDIC, which ensures deposits in U.S. banks,
I see.
has actually taken a more nuanced stance.
So it's more like a yellow light than a red light. Proceed with caution.
Well, the FDIC has cautioned banks against getting directly involved with crypto,
Gotcha.
but they haven't outright banned them from serving crypto companies.
And it's important to note that this contradicts the narrative of a widespread debanking campaign.
They've sent out letters essentially urging banks to pause and carefully assess the risks involved.
Right.
Exactly.
So where does this leave X in all of this?
And it's important to note that this contradicts the narrative of a widespread debanking campaign.
If they're serious about becoming a major player in payments and potentially embracing crypto,
The FDIC's actions suggest a more measured approach.
how will the FDIC react?
focused on managing risk and ensuring stability in the financial system.
That's the million-dollar question.
That's the million-dollar question.
The regulatory landscape is still very much in flux.
The regulatory landscape is still very much in flux.
And it's hard to predict how things will unfold. It's definitely something to keep a close eye on as X's plans develop.
And it's hard to predict how things will unfold.
It definitely sounds like we're heading into uncharted territory here.
It's definitely something to keep a close eye on as X's plans develop. We were just discussing the FDIC's cautious approach to cryptocurrency and how that might impact X's ambitions in the financial world.
It's like this whole situation is a giant game of chess
That's a great analogy.
with X.
And it's important to remember that the outcome of this game is far from certain.
The crypto market,
Absolutely.
regulators,
There are so many variables at play,
and even global economies,
and each move could have unexpected consequences.
all making strategic moves.
For instance, if X does decide to integrate cryptocurrency, which currency will they choose?
Right. There are so many variables at play, and each move could have unexpected consequences. It's a fascinating question, and one that has huge implications for the crypto market as a whole.
Will it be Bitcoin, the most established cryptocurrency? Or will they favor a newer, more volatile option like Dogecoin, which Elon Musk has famously championed?
Imagine the impact if X threw its weight behind Dogecoin.
It could send the price skyrocketing,
It could lead to accusations of market manipulation.
potentially creating a whole new wave of investors and further legitimizing cryptocurrencies in the mainstream.
And further scrutiny from regulators.
You're right. There are always two sides to the coin, so to speak.
And speaking of scrutiny, let's circle back to the idea of user trust.
That's a crucial question.
If X does become this all-encompassing platform,
And one that X will need to address very carefully.
handling everything from social interactions to financial transactions,
They'll need to demonstrate a strong commitment to security, privacy, and responsible data management to earn the trust of their users,
will users feel comfortable entrusting them with such sensitive data?
especially when it comes to financial matters.
It's a tall order, especially considering some of the past controversies surrounding social media platforms and data breaches.
It's true. People are increasingly aware of the value of their personal data,
So X will need to go above and beyond to prove they're worthy of that trust.
and they're becoming more discerning about who they trust with it.
They can't just slap on a trust us sticker and expect everyone to jump on board.
Exactly. They'll need to be transparent about their data practices,
And let's not forget about the potential for misuse.
implement robust security measures, and perhaps even explore innovative ways to give users more control over their own data.
We've seen how social media platforms can be manipulated to spread misinformation,
It's a sobering thought.
influence elections,
And if an everything app like X gains even more power and influence,
and even incite violence.
it could become an even bigger target for those who seek to exploit it for nefarious purposes.
So it's not just about convenience and innovation.
Right. It's about ensuring that this technology is used for good, not for harm.
It's also about responsibility and accountability.
And that requires a collective effort from X, regulators, users, and society as a whole.
So as we navigate this uncharted territory, what should listeners be thinking about? What are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think the most important thing is to stay informed and engaged.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of new technology, but we need to be mindful of the potential downsides as well.
This is a rapidly evolving landscape, and the decisions we make today will have a profound impact on the digital world of tomorrow.
But by having these conversations, by exploring different perspectives, and by critically evaluating the potential benefits and risks, we can help shape the future of technology in a way that benefits everyone.
Exactly. It's about being proactive, not passive. It's about recognizing that we all have a role to play in shaping the digital world we want to live in.
This has been such a thought-provoking discussion. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still so much more to explore. After a quick break, we'll wrap up this deep dive with some final thoughts and insights that will hopefully leave you with a better understanding of what's at stake as X embarks on its journey to become an everything app. Welcome back to our deep dive into X and its ambition to become an everything app. We've explored the potential benefits, the challenges, and the uncertainties that lie ahead.
It's been a fascinating journey, hasn't it? And as we wrap up this exploration,
Yeah, it really has.
I think it's crucial to step back and consider the broader implications of this potential shift.
You're right. It's not just about a single company or a new set of features. It's about a fundamental change in how we interact with technology and with each other.
Imagine a world where your social media platform is also your bank, your shopping mall, your news source, and your primary means of communication. It's a powerful concept and one that raises profound questions about power control and the future of our digital lives.
One of the biggest questions that keeps coming up is trust.
It's a valid concern,
Can we? Should we?
and it's one that X will need to address head on if they want to succeed in this endeavor.
Trust a single company with so much power and influence over our lives.
They'll need to build a foundation of trust through transparency, accountability, and a genuine commitment to user privacy and security.
It's not just about talking the talk, it's about walking the walk. They'll need to demonstrate through their actions that they're worthy of that trust.
Absolutely. And that includes being proactive in addressing potential risks, such as the spread of misinformation, the manipulation of algorithms, and the potential for data breaches.
We've seen how social media platforms can be used for both good and bad purposes. And as these platforms become more powerful and integrated into our lives, the stakes become even higher.
It's a reminder that technology is never neutral. It's a tool that can be used to empower or to exploit, to connect or to divide. The choices we make today will determine how this technology shapes our world tomorrow.
So what can we do as individuals to navigate this complex and ever-changing landscape?
I think the most important thing is to stay informed and engaged. Don't just passively consume information. Question assumptions, challenge biases, and demand better from the companies that are shaping our digital future.
Be mindful of the data you share, the platforms you use, and the information you consume. Remember that you have a voice and you have a choice.
The future of technology is not predetermined. It's something we create together through our choices, our actions, and our collective vision for a better world.
That's a really great point. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the future of X and the everything app concept. I know I learned a lot.
It's been a pleasure.
It's a conversation that will undoubtedly continue as this technology evolves and reshapes our digital lives. We encourage you to stay curious, stay critical, and stay engaged.
And as always, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of knowledge. And remember, investing is a journey best taken with both your head and your heart in the game.
We'll catch you next time for another fascinating exploration of the forces that shape our world.
See you then.